I know. My husband just said, here I am, here I am talking for like 5 minutes. And my husband said, I'm not seeing you live. I was just talking to myself. Maybe I was just warming up. Hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson with Astrology Mojo, and want to help you get your mojo back. So, okay. I hope you can see me. I hope you can hear me, because here I am. And what I was actually talking about a few minutes ago, when I actually was not live, was this time of year and the holidays that a lot of people ascribe to it. There's the Catholic Easter, there's the Orthodox Easter. They're a week apart this year, and each comes from a different calendar. One the Gregorian calendar, one the Julian calendar. There's also, both have derived those holidays from the original pagan rite of spring and new life being born in different parts of nature and in the world, etc. So it doesn't matter what you believe, as long as it makes you happy, as long as it puts love into the world. And here we are. Happy spring. Happy you. What's the thing that's keeping you down? That's what I want to know. What's keeping you down? Come join me. Let's see. We've got Uranus is conjuncting the sun. Pretty intense. You may have, depending on your sign, your rising sign and your moon sign, or predominant placement in your chart, you may be thinking that your world is falling apart. You may be thinking, oh my gosh, why am I dreaming these things? It's horrifying. I need to turn off the TV. I'm watching too many zombie apocalypse shows. So this is when this particular time frame, as I've talked about, there's a lot of conjunctions, which means in astrology, it's when two planets come together. Hi, Christine. It's when two planets come together within 8 degrees. And listen, if you're new to me and or you're new to astrology, the planets don't make you do a thing, okay? They don't, really. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos. So when the cosmos and the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that via aspects and angles. So when I say that Uranus, the planet that represents rebellion or freedom or technology or space and science, is conjunct the sun, which represents the focus, sometimes masculine focus, that means that you're ready to have light shed on some part of you that wants to break free of the ties that bind, or to just make a sudden right turn because you've been holding it, your power, and you feel powerless and you're not doing anything with it. And then suddenly, kaboom. Some people, depending on where Uranus lands in your astrological chart, in a transit, you're born with a Uranus in a specific area of your chart. And then as the planets rotate through the heavens and around your chart, that's called a transit. So wherever the transits land in different house placements in your chart, you can get a better picture of what you're experiencing. Okay, so that's what astrology looks like. Now, what if you took a snapshot of the heavens today versus a snapshot of the heavens 2,000 years ago? The planets are not in the same places. The constellations have moved. The expansion of the universe is underway. So, people talk about the 13th sign. And because the Ophiuchus, which is sandwiched between Scorpio and Sagittarius, is not visible to the Earth consistently. So it cannot be a constellation unless you want to have a sign. It's like being born on February 29th in our calendar, which I had a friend whose daughter was born on February 29th. She said, how do I have a birthday party for her? And I said, well, a solar return is when the sun degree returns to its position every year. You call it a birthday. I call it a solar return. When you have a solar return, sometimes it's a day before, the day of, or a day after your actual original birthday. So you go by solar returns. Not just, I was born February 29th. I can only celebrate my birthday every 4 years. Wouldn't that be just so silly that we are confined because of someone's calculations? Sosigenes came up with the original calendar, but then there was the Gregorian, the Julian. People play with time, and they still do. right? So how many states change their clocks? Well, we in Arizona do not. There's a couple other states that don't as well. So you think about time and you think about the calendar. You have a calendar. Your calendar says what time it is. Astrology tells you what time it is. If you were born, let's say you were born as a Cancer sun sign, but your rising sign is Taurus, then every April, May, you're going to have a big something because that sits on the horizon line. That's your rising sign. And then every month it proceeds. There's a different definition for every house in astrology. And let me just show you a basic chart. This was what I showed people last week, the transits for April 16th. And oops, there it is. So this was April 16th, just a few days ago. Okay? This is what's happening. Now, if you're a Cancer rising sign, you see on the horizon there's Cancer. If you're a Cancer rising sign, you got some big career educational stuff going on. This would be a transit in your chart. So you see the planets are not the same for everyone because you are not the same as everyone because you are experiencing something completely new. Hey, who's here? Bridget is here. Lori's here. Christine's here. Hi there. Hello. Welcome. Come say hello to me. When's your birthday? I will be turning 59 on May 3rd. And wow, that went fast. But yet it didn't. You know what I mean? If you're over 35, you know what I mean. It's like, wait a minute, blah, 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 like a cartoon. What just happened? And as a Capricorn rising, the older I get, the younger I feel. Go figure. I started out very old, like a little old man. Now I'm having a really good hair day, so this little old man is happy. So tell me oops, I'm just dropping stuff on my desk. Tell me, what is the big repetitive pattern? What's the thing weighing you down? Come talk to me. People have experiences in, hi Beth. People have, she's a Libran. And we have a Sagittarian. We have a Cancer here. I'm a Taurus. And we have an Aquarian, Airbender. Oh, you're the Airbender. That's so funny. And when people have experiences, sometimes they tend to say, that was, wow, it's that. I ate rice for the first time and it blew my mind and rice is the way to go. And then they start to preach, you got to have rice, you got to, or whatever it is. Because when we, when we have spiritual experiences, they often lead to personal awarenesses. So, example, if I'm standing in front of two people and one person is open to the type of work that I do, and the other person is not, when I speak, the person who is open to the type of work that I do will hear my information on many different levels. The person who is not open to what I do will hear one stream of thought based on their perception, right? Does that make sense? So what I want you to do, hey, Jen's back. Aries, hoo-ha. Shark bait, hoo-ha-ha. It's one of our favorite movies. Okay, so Jen, I'm so glad you're back. And you had a birthday recently. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. Hope your solar return was fabulous because your solar return actually signifies what the year will look like for you. It's your new year. Yeah, the calendar has a new year, but your new year is your birthday and your solar return. The day before, the day of, the day after your birthday are days to really celebrate. Just keep that in mind if you've got a birthday coming up. And I can actually put up a link. I haven't done it yet here to promote my solar return readings, and I will do that. Bridget, 618. You're so close to Cancer, but you chose to be a Gemini instead. Well, and we applaud you for that. Hope it's been a happy ride. So when you look at the things that are happening in your life, I want you to be aware of a couple of things. It doesn't always matter the method by which you attempt to gain awareness. sit and breathe. Be present as possible. That's the simplest, easiest way. Be as present as possible and pay attention to your body, mind, spirit, the parts of you that really need something. What do you need? Just start there. Start there. I'm going to scroll because there are some comments. Start where you are, okay? And some people are already on a spiritual journey, and that includes travel or mixing it up with cultures or getting involved in crystals or working with astrology or Akashic records or the numerology of the world. It's go on, and on tarot readings. It doesn't matter the method. It's not the thing that gives you the power, okay? It's not the stone. Is a hematite, by the way. Here's a fluorite I keep by my computer to help disperse EMF waves. It's not the thing that gives you the power. It is the thing that directs you to the door to where the power is on the inside. Does that make sense? And if you get stuck somewhere along the way, then, you look for signs and symbols. But to make that one thing be the one all that is forever is getting stuck again. So just keep that in mind. I mean, right now I'm looking at a chart. We've got today's chart for April 19th is 2019. That's, let's see, Sun is conjunct Uranus. And Sun is about to enter Taurus. And when it does, the reflection from the vibration of Sun and Uranus combined puts out a frequency that taps you on the shoulder. Or for some people, literally, will knock you on the head or on your ass. So pay attention. What is it that has been bothering you that you're not paying attention to? And sometimes you might feel really great, and you're very strong, and you're healthy, and you love your work, and you're gardening, and you're just loving life, fantastic. And then the person next to you is having trouble after trouble. The person in front of you, trouble after trouble. So then you need to make a decision and say to yourself, do I assist, and how much? How much do I give? Because service at the sake of yourself is denial. So we don't want to go there either. So by putting just wonderful, loving vibes into the world, you get it first and then you give it. It's so simple. It's just so simple. So Lori says, I had a good friend. When people asked him, when's your birthday? He replied with every day. I like that. He replied with every day. Oh, okay. So his birthday was every day. Happy birthday. Because every moment literally is a chance to start over. So do that. Go there. With Uranus being the planet that represents science, technology, space, and space travel. Also, I would say for some it's their revolution, the re-evolution of something. You might go back in time to go, oh, I used to work with herbs, or I used to, do Tai Chi, or I used to do Pilates, and I'm going to go back to that because it gives you that sense of freedom. So you want to look at where is the freedom in your life and where is your lack of freedom? Where is the place where you get stuck the most? Because with Saturn and, Saturn, which represents structure and denial and karma and brick and mortar type businesses, the old guard, the old way, authority, wisdom, and piety as well, is in a tense angle now. It's a square, a tense angle to Uranus and the sun. So you're wanting to bust out of something that's very old that might be holding you back. What's that pattern? And the fear just may be, I don't know what it looks like to start over. I don't know what I'm going to be after the divorce. I don't know if I retired now, will I be able to live the rest of my life? What if I get sick? So all the fears start to come up. Anytime you couple the idea of freedom, your freedom, with or if you're championing a cause, freedom for the sake of the lives of others or the welfare of others, that accounts for the same thing. It's like, where do I start? Who's going to come up against me? What authority figure is going to try and stop me? And then you get all attitude, and that promotes sometimes a little bit more antagonistic feelings between you and other people. So you want to just be aware of being as present as possible with Neptune is in Pisces right now in the heavens, and Neptune is in a natural placement because Neptune guides the sign of Pisces. So that Neptune is in Pisces. It's just like you want to be in the flow. Now is a great time to utilize metaphysics and movies, spiritual practices, art, poetry, things that create flow of words, of energy, of thought, of beauty, of profound connection. Venus is also in Pisces right now, and that Venus represents where Neptune and Saturn are the karmic planets. Venus represents the area of protection also in your life, and as well finances and food, and yes, love, yes, beauty, but it's the kind of beauty in Pisces that has to do with poetry. When you see a flower in your backyard, maybe it's a weed, it doesn't, and it's suddenly one day it's little, and then the next day it's just starting to bloom, and you go, that purple is magnificent. What is that? We've been watching One Planet with David Attenborough on Netflix, and we're just looking at you could see every hair on that caribou, but it's just, everything's just so magical and beautiful on this earth, and the destruction that is happening because of us and because of nature and time itself. So because these things are always going to be churning and moving and turning, not a lot has changed in a couple of thousand years. But it doesn't mean you can't change. It doesn't mean you can't become that person of, I have an awareness and I want to do something with that. It doesn't have to be big. It could be big for you, right? Christine says, yesterday my ex-husband called me to chat, like out of the blue. Coinky-dink? I think not. Especially since you're a Sagittarian and Jupiter is in retrograde now. So the past will come back. That was going to be my next question. So thank you, Christine, for giving me that prompt and the segue. The open door to that is, what happens when the past comes back? And these are the readings that I'm giving lately for Jupiter retrograde. And it's looking at who were you in 1995 to 96? What was happening in your life, what stopped you, and then again 2007 to 2008. What opportunities came by did you pass up because you think you didn't have enough power? What did you grab and take hold of, but yet perhaps didn't see it through? We're back in that phase now. We're coming back around. That's all we do is we revolve and evolve around the same patterns and issues over and over. So look back at your life. And every sign can say 12 years ago. So if we lined up 12 people and Aries would go, well, 12 years ago, this is what it looked like. And it would be completely different than Taurus, completely different than all the signs put together. So every sign gets a chance to look back 12 years all the time because Jupiter only stays 1 year in a sign. So as it traverses through the universe and it goes into retrograde like any planet would right now, Jupiter's the only retrograde planet. So that's the big focus between now and August 11th. And these readings that I'm focused on with one fella, we chatted about who he was in 2007 and what his aspirations were. And he was having difficulty in career. And at the time, he did not know his real father. So we talked about him coming to terms with that and finding his dad. He made a decision to go and find his dad. And what unfolded after that? Because I said, once you do, that missing piece that you think you have, something's going to align, click into place. There goes the seatbelt. You're ready to drive, and you go forward. And so he found his dad, got married, had a son of his own. Actually, he was having the son, found his dad, and then the career thing began. And So sometimes, as I said in previous talks, things overlap in life as they do. There's never going to just be one topic ever. There's never just one channel to watch, just like there's never just one channel of information that comes through. Does that make sense? So with Jupiter in retrograde right now, the whole thing, and let me look at Mars too. Mars is in Gemini, which is opposite. So there might be a little bit of, I want to go forward, but I can't. I got to wait for something, but not. And then for some people, it just comes in so fast. The past comes in so fast, and you get to rectify something, or you get to move forward with something. What is that thing for you? What's the thing that you've been just feeling sad or down about? Is it your weight, your health, your vision, your purpose, your spiritual awareness? Is it your relationship? Is it career, money? Whatever that subject is, it's going to recycle itself until you get to the place of saying, I feel complete with this. I'm good. Let's move on to the next thing, right? Because you're not born flying or driving. You got to learn how to sit up first. You got to hold your head up first. Then you crouch, you fall, you crawl, you walk, you run, you drive, you fly. And that's the way it goes. So this reading that I'm doing, you can click on the link that Dean posted for me, and also the blue Book Now button if you're on a computer. And we're going to cover a lot in this 1 hour session. Plus, there's a 30-day email follow-up to make sure that you're back on track to where you really want to be. I'm going to pull a card for everyone. Just let me know if there is one topic. What's the topic? Is it health? Is it money? Is it career? Is it awareness? Is it creativity? What is the topic? Let me know, and then I will pull a card for the whole group. Okay. We weeded the other day. We have a lot of rocks out here in Sedona, Arizona, and it looks so much better. We have little pockets of sunflowers that are going to grow. It was like the backyard was covered. We were going to have a farm of sunflowers, but that brings the ants, and we try to keep them away from the house. So we keep them over there. It looks pretty, and they get to eat something, and we get to look at pretty. But it felt so good to dig in the dirt and get all that stuff out and start over. And I've grown my own turmeric. I bought some turmeric. We were in the islands a couple of years ago. Got a couple of fingers of, the pods of turmeric, put them in the earth in a pot, and 9 months later, the tops grew and they died. So now I think I just got to pull it, and I'll have my own turmeric. I'm very excited. So Jen's focused on love. You want some. Are we talking sex and romance love, or are we talking love of self and fellow human being? What kind of love are we talking? What is it that you'd like to expand on? Let me know. I'm mixing up the cards. Happy cards for people who want to be happier. No, that's not a song, really. I can make it one. No, we don't. We're not going to go there. You know what just came into my head? A whole lot of loving is what we'll be singing. Come on, get happy. Whose favorite TV show was that in 1969, huh? Or 71 or whatever. Abundance, the abundance card. Hooray. So if you want to have abundance and it's not coming, what's stopping it? What stops that? Let's look at that, because when my glasses are falling. When abundance isn't making its way towards you, you think, how come other people, how do they get it? How come it's easy for them? How come it's not coming to me? So the first thing you want to look at is the kind of parameter you set up for yourself. So Jen says romance. You would like to have romance in your life, and yet you look at the past 5 years, and the grief associated with romance, or what you would call love, is not what you want to repeat. So, or the absence of, right? You don't want to, it's not, now you want to put something in that space. So when anyone's looking to create any kind of abundance in their life, it's really important that you first define the word. What does it mean to you to be abundant? Now, people can get very heady, especially when they talk to me. They think they have to be smarter than I don't know what. And they'll go, oh, abundance. I'm so grateful for this. And I never look at the negatives. And I go, no, okay, great. But we want to look at the negatives, because if you're not getting something, there's something standing in the way. There's a barrier to entry. So it's wonderful if you're positive. That's great. I'm happy. But I want to go to the places where you're not positive. And some people are afraid that if they think about those things, they will expand on what's not happening. Okay. So abundance and anything in this world, you have to look at the opposites. So what does it mean for you to have the opposite of abundance? What's your word for that? So words are very, people are word specific. So the opposite of abundance for me would be poverty. But what poverty means to me may not mean the same to you. So first you got to look at your definitions. What does abundance mean for you and for Jen in romance? What does abundant romance mean? You have someone who is blah, blah, blah. So write a list. Make a list. Ideal romantic partner. Boom. Qualifications, qualities. Who are they? What do they do? How old are they? What race are they from? How much money do they make? What are their interests? Go down the line. Everything from quality to what kind of person are they to qualifications. Do they have a degree? What are they? So you start to manifest by looking at your own definitions. And now some people will put must have a college degree. Other people might put must have $1 million in the bank. Now, in order for you to attract the things that you want on the list, you have to look at your list now and make the same thing. You want a really great office assistant. You need a good babysitter. You want a, romance in your life. So you make a list of your ideal person. What is that? And as you list all these things, now flip the page over. Now you list all of your qualities and qualifications. Now, where don't they match up? Maybe the guy's got, you have spiritual awareness and the guy doesn't. So what kind of people are you attracting? Or let's say you want to go out and get a job where someone actually reveres what you do, compliments you, validates you, is grateful for you, but yet the jobs that you've gotten, it's just, maybe you get half that, and the rest is, they like you, but they can't compensate you enough. Or, so you have to weigh and balance your definitions. Ideal person. You put the ideal job, ideal boss, ideal employee, ideal lover, ideal whatever, friend, whatever. And then list qualities and qualifications for them. When we did this to have, to bring an office assistant into my world, I was very specific. I want someone who's spiritually aware. I want someone who is mature, who has no children, and who understands healing, both physical, emotional, and mental. Someone who understands computers. So we created an ad and put it in the newspaper, and 3 people responded. The first woman on the phone said to me, "How much do you pay?" And I said, "Thank you so much for calling." Because if that's your first question, you're not for me. And then the second woman, she could work part-time, but she did have some kids, and I was like, "Thank you so much. I'll get back to you." And but the third person actually called and then told me when she was coming to see me. And she did. She was half Cherokee woman who was a Buddhist nun whose son had passed away. And she used to be in think tanks with Stephen Jobs. And I said, "You're hired." It's like everything on the list. check, 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 check. We used to meditate before we got to work in the morning. She talked more than I did. She said to me, you're more like a, like the monk in the cave. When it came to work, I would just sit here and do my work. She would come in. So, what a pretty day. I went to the store the other day, and she would just like to chat. She was a Sagittarian Taurus rising. Loved her. She passed away. But I know she's free. So anyway, when you want to manifest something, you have to get clear on your definitions. Does that make sense? Let me just look in the chat. Vicky joined. Jen said, I was just at Angel Valley last night. It's a beautiful place. Listening to Oak Creek in the full moonlight. Thanking my guides for abundance. Great. Now get specific. Your guides can only show you what you think you're ready to see. Right? Right? So get specific. Put it on paper. Write it down. Write it down. Oh, here's another card I pulled for the group. Intention. What's your intention? Suddenly, I'm thinking of being a kid lying on the living room floor, watching TV on a Saturday morning. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? So, your intention, and I just pulled it again. I just mixed up the cards like while I was talking, and it came out again. So I guess they want me to talk about it. Who are they? Galadriel, Legolas, Bradley Cooper, my second husband, Harry Potter. They all want me to talk about intention. What's your intention? Your intention comes from the place inside of you that says, I have a goal and there is a purpose to this. There is an end result that I would like to achieve. So my intention is to every day wake up and inhale slowly and exhale slowly so that I remember some of the images from my dream or if I was astral projecting, and to see how does it apply to me now. My intention is to have, and I fill in the blank, one simple thing a morning. That's all. One intention a day. My intention is to be as kind to my body as possible. My intention is to be as productive today with writing or editing as possible. I name one intention. So when you start your day, and especially during this time frame with Jupiter in retrograde, with the sun conjuncting Uranus, that means your freedom is at hand. Your freedom with a specific issue or person or pattern that has nothing to do with the outside world is at hand. So what's the intention? The intention would be, I'd like the universe to show me a clear, calm, healthy, those parameters, clear, calm, healthy sign to help me open the door to the next level of my, whatever the intention is, of my work, of my romance, of where I want to be in 5 years, my financial projection. Write it down. Write it down. Yeah. Okay. Any other concerns? Let me know. I will be back. I wrote it down. April 22nd at noon, different time, because I will be working on some Akashic readings and my own personal evolution this coming week. And when I open up even more, that's when I can bring more information to you to help you. So if you've got some areas of concern for your life, focused on, career, creativity, just maybe it's just feeling comfortable in your own skin. Maybe it's wondering, how do I just get beyond the fear of living fully? It doesn't have to always be as specific as I named earlier, but at least write it down. I want to get over the fear of living big, or moving to a different city or a different state. Or I'm really sad about someone in my life passing away. How can I help them the best? How can I help me the best? So whatever is happening in your world right now, just be as present as absolutely possible. And then ask your angels and guides, your loved ones, the universe, nature, spirits, different planets, all the energies that are, please show me a clear, calm, healthy way. Ba-boom. And you're there, as they would say in Newark, New Jersey. Hello to Newark. I feel like, what was that show I used to watch as a kid? My gosh, it just told, and she would hold up the thing and go, happy birthday to Mary and happy birthday to Jimmy and a romper room. Yeah, romper room. Okay, go for it. And I will have a wonderful weekend. And if you do celebrate Catholic Easter, have a beautiful Easter. If you celebrate Passover, blessings. Greek Easter is next week, and some Armenian people celebrate. So our Orthodox Easter is next week. If you're celebrating spring, life, love, and the pursuit of happiness, come back and we'll celebrate together. Be sparkly, be present, and click on the link to get the 1-hour Jupiter in retrograde session with me. And that includes a 30-day email follow-up. We're going to go in, we're going to go deep, and we're going to help you alter your pattern and get you on a new trajectory toward abundance. Be well, everyone. I'll see you again.